I'm about to rank these teams. You know, I figured let me do it a different way because usually everybody does it online. I figured let me do it in person this time. Let me set this thing up though. Hold on. Yeah, I like that spot. Damn, look at that. Tell me I don't look professional. I got all these. Oh, there's a few teams that just fell, but all these teams printed out. Some a lot bigger than the others, and you know what? It's cool. It's cool because diversity. And we love diversity. For the first one that I can do, which would be a pretty obvious, is the Chiefs. This gotta be a S tier. It's gotta be. Patrick Mahomes is a must watch. Travis Kelce is a must watch. Just won the Super Bowl. I still think that they're a S tier no matter if they made any like trades or anything or not, or signed any free agents. Okay, they signed a bunch of roster fillers, but I still think this team's a S tier, to be honest. Yeah. I like that. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody can just, you know, rank all these teams. It takes a certain somebody. No, it doesn't. Cowboys. America's team. My team. Honestly, the Cowboys have been really fun to watch, especially this last year. Just got Stephon Gilmore, Micah Parsons, hopefully about to have another explosive season, another great season. Dak Prescott, I feel like is definitely on the watch. If he doesn't do anything and make a deep playoff push this year, I mean, don't get me wrong, making it to the divisional round is like not crazy deep, but at the same time, the divisional round is not the Super Bowl. That's nowhere near. Say goodbye. Because me especially, I wanted him gone this year. I just said I wanted to forget about it, but you know what? Maybe next year we trade away him, get Caleb Williams. I mean, that's so unlikely, but I think they're A tier. That's where I'm putting them, A tier. Yeehaw, Cowgirls. We're going to do the Cardinals next. The Cardinals, if you want me to be realistic with you, I really think that they're like a DC tier. Kyler Murray only likes to play COD. He doesn't like to play the actual sport of football. They traded away DeAndre Hopkins. Not that much fun to watch. Who am I going to watch play wide receiver for them? Let me see what moves do they even do. Isaiah Simmons definitely is somebody that I would want to watch on this team and see what he can do. But besides that, they didn't really do like much signing players and drafting. I think Cards are, for me, or personally, a D tier, F tier type of team. It doesn't give much. Like, I just look at this team and I'm like, First D tier team of the video. I'd love to see it. Next one is one of my boys' favorites, the Seahawks. I would definitely put them, I'm putting them at A tier. They're not S tier, maybe B tier, because I need to see this wide receiver that they drafted, because I know he dropped far to them and wasn't supposed to. They got Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's definitely not how you say his last name. Jackson Smith, definitely, I seen highlights of him playing. He looks nice, and especially to get paired up on a Seahawks team with Geno Smith, which, hey, everybody's rooting for him, I feel like, especially Geno, man. He's that guy. And then Devin Witherspoon is also a really good corner to have. I feel like they had a success in the draft class this year. Free agency wise, nothing's coming to my mind of like, but I'm putting them at A. I feel like it's a team that I would want to watch, but it's not like you must watch. It's just going to be nice to see the young players play and Geno Smith play. Look at that. This board's coming together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this team, I don't know why I got printed so small. The Vikings. We're going to do the Vikings next. Kirk Cousins, big year. Justin Jefferson, even bigger year. Kind of disappointing though in the 2022 season, how they ended up losing to the Giants out of all teams. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Giants were pretty good, but, I felt like as a team, they definitely should have won that. There's no way that they're losing that round. I don't know, but it's like, let me see what they did. No Dalvin Cook. I just remembered that. Is definitely going to play. I don't know how big of a factor, because you know how the running back position is right now, and especially this year. Teams just don't really care about it. I think this is I would say this is a B team, because really, no, C. The only reason why I'm putting it C is just because you want to watch Justin Jefferson play, but besides that, I could really care less about what Kirk Cousins does. I mean, especially watching quarterback, bruh. He doesn't really have a personality for me. Like he said, he's a typical dad. I'm not trying to watch a dad play football. I mean, that's most of them, though. And your Vikings are a C team. The Ravens. I personally say the Ravens are an S tier team. They got OBJ, which has been new. Melvin Gordon. You also able to see Kyle Hamilton play some more in his sophomore season. Kyle Hamilton had a pretty decent rookie season. I mean, there definitely was some struggles and flaws in his game, but hopefully we'll work on to develop them. Zay Flowers is definitely somebody you want to watch. J.K. Dobbins, you know, hopefully coming back from that injury that he had. You know, let's hopefully he can do. There it is. It is Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman is definitely somebody you're going to want to watch. Patrick Queen. Nelson Aguilar's on this team now. Was pretty good for the Eagles and Patriots, but who knows if that's going to continue to stay. You know, brick man with his hands damn near. Melvin Gordon, feel bad for him because the running back, and he's bad. And he's old. You know, you're not going to get much. And how could I forget about almost, I would say maybe the third best tight end in the league right now? Mark Andrews. You're definitely going to want to watch him play. I think Ravens are an S tier team. Actually, changing my mind, they're A tier. The Lions. Definitely want to talk about the Lions. Jared Goff, surprisingly, had a really good year this year. Who knows if he can do it again, or maybe it's just a flaw. Definitely going to want to watch for guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is a really good wide receiver. Just sucks that he doesn't play in a big town like market, so he doesn't get the praise as much as he probably should. Marvin Jones came back for another year. Glad to see him. David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is a third down back and probably will play a majority of third downs, and I don't think you want to rush your rookie running back straight into the game, but also that's when their peak is at that value, when they're damn near worth nothing and you can just run them into the ground and then not pay them. Also being able to watch Jameson Williams, he didn't get to play that much. And sadly, seeing CJ Gardner-Johnson getting carted off the field for an injury that happened in practice, hopefully he can play this year. Definitely would want to see him. It was a really good addition that they added and that I feel like they kind of needed. You might call me crazy. I'm putting the Lions at A tier. I feel like they're definitely a team that you're going to want to watch. Definitely need to stay in tune with. The next team up, New York Jets. Don't even have to say much. The New York Jets are going to be a S tier. Aaron Rodgers joins this team. Sauce Gardner, definitely going to want to see him play. Alan Lazard, you're going to want to see him play. You're going to want to see how Garrett Wilson and Bryce Hall will do. So I think it's a no-brainer, S tier for me. Bam. Next team I want to get done is the Chargers. I feel like the one thing about the Chargers is I don't know if they're going to be able to win their division. Their division is too stacked. Being in that tough division with the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Broncos, don't really see how they could do it, because Russell Wilson, there's no way he goes outside 2 years in a row. If he goes outside 2 years in a row, then you know what? Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But I feel like he's going to have a bounce back season. The Raiders, they'll probably end up beating the Raiders. It's still going to be really hard for them to even make the playoffs, just having to beat those two juggernauts of a team. And really just the juggernaut of a team, the Chiefs, up there. I would still say they're still a pretty B-tier team. Khalil Mack still on the team. Joey Bosa you're going to want to watch. Derwin James, probably the best strong safety to play right now. Yeah, no, he's the best. I can't think of anybody else. Austin Eckler, who knows? I know he doesn't want to play on these low contracts that he's getting, so who knows if he plays. Keenan Allen, getting pretty old. Easy B-tier team for me. The Commanders. The Commanders, if you want me to keep it a buck with you, bro, they need to change that name before I start watching them. I am going to have to watch them twice, being a Cowboys fan. But really, what are they going to do? I know, is it Sam Howell might start at QB? And okay. But maybe it being because I am a little bit biased. No, let me stop. There's going to be no bias. Please tell me what is there to watch on this team. Not much. Scary Terry. And that's it. So this team for me is going to a D tier. And it's the Commanders. Come on. Like, listen to their name. Their name's not even like that cool to listen to. The New York Giants. You know what? Don't mind my cutting, because I cut worse than a second grader. But who cares? So the New York Giants ended up getting Saquon Barkley back. Didn't want to sign a $10 million franchise tag, but wants to sign a 1 year, $11 million contract. Make it make sense. Daniel Jones, surprisingly, had a really good year. You think about it like this. The less passing he did, the better he did. Could run the ball pretty damn well, which I didn't know Daniel Jones was like that. Was a pretty good runner back in college. I mean, Darius Slayton getting pretty old. Don't really have much to say about him. Sterling Shepard hopefully can have a good season this year. Is Kenny Golladay still in this team? Because if he is, get him off. But no, I am a little bit excited to watch this team. I don't know. They're like a C tier for me. There's not too much really to watch except for just Saquon Barkley running that ball, and that's that. Because who are these wide receivers that he's passing to? If you want me to keep it a buck. And on the defense, besides Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, you don't really got much. I mean, I know Darnay Holmes is on there. Yeah, this team is gonna be a C tier for me. I really wish my printer didn't mess up and make some of these a little bit too big. But let's take a break here and look at what we have so far. As you see up here, we have the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Jets as S tier. The reason I would say that, Jets, Aaron Rodgers, come on, that's a must watch. Seeing a new quarterback, especially of that caliber, 2-time MVP, to be on a new team and just play. Who knows? It either might be the demise of Aaron Rodgers, or, hey, that team might go to the Super Bowl, but hey, might be a little bit too young. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. Then we have the Chiefs, also at S tier. Do I really have to say much? Patrick Mahomes, MVP last year, Super Bowl MVP last year. Travis Kelce, you're going to watch. The Cowboys, you know, Dak's make or break season, I feel like for me. You're going to want to watch Micah Parsons. You're going to want to watch Stephon Gilmore play, Trayvon Diggs play. Didn't even mention Trayvon Diggs. Going to want to watch him play. Defense honestly looks pretty good and pretty young, and I'm excited. As a Cowboys fan, I'm excited. Definitely going to want to see Tony Pollard step up in that role of being a starter full-time, because he was pretty electric when he did play. And now that we don't have Zeke on this team anymore, who knows what he's going to do. But I am expecting pretty big things because he's not a big, heavy back. He's going to be able to still catch passes and make plays and not take so much pound. Pause. The next team for A tiers, Seahawks. Ended up doing really good in the draft class this year. Again, surprisingly, they did really good last year and again this year. Geno Smith had himself an outstanding season. Gonna want to see if he can do it again and maybe lead this team to a playoff spot. Who knows? We have the Ravens at A tier also. It's Lamar Jackson and OBJ. Lamar has some competent receivers and he's not throwing to straight bums. You're going to want to see Humphreys play. Now, the last team for A tier is the Lions. You're going to want to see the Lions play. They're going to be the week 1, the first game to play. So already a lot of people, if they do win against the Chiefs, they got big eyes on them already. For the next tier, B tier, we do have the Chargers. I mean, you are going to want to watch Justin Herbert play, one of our best young quarterbacks. But like really besides that, you just got like Derwin James and Keenan Allen. Then for C tier, we have the Giants. If Saquon doesn't sign to this team, they're going down 1. But they are going to stay at C tier. Don't really have much on defense to really say. Other team for C tier, the Vikings. It's Kirk Cousins. Do you like that? I don't like that. And then the 2 teams for D tier, Cardinals and Washington. Don't really want to say much about them. It's going to go to A tier. I was going to say S tier. It's going to go to A tier. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, both 2 dogs. That's the thing. This Bengals team, 1 through 3 of the wide receivers, amazing. This team's going to A tier because how stacked of an offense it is, and it's Joey B. Come on. Okay, another team I can confidently say, you already seen it, Buccaneers, D tier. I kid you not. Why would I want to watch Baker Mayfield play on this team? No Tom Brady. I mean, don't get me wrong. They do have some like other studs with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, defensive side. Can't think of much. I mean, Devin White, but like, okay. Levante David, if he's still on the team, which I'm pretty sure he is. Do you really want to watch Baker Mayfield play? They take up so much. Oh my God. The Tennessee Titans is what we're going to be doing next. I'm going to put them as C tier. Well, I'll put them at B tier. You know what? Let's make the Chargers have some friends. They added DeAndre Hopkins. Besides that, their wide receiver room is pretty weak. DeAndre Hopkins might go to Tennessee and just die. I mean, I really want to see Malik Willis play instead of watching Tannehill play, but I don't think that's going to be the team for them. And then them also drafting Will Levis, kind of strange. So now you have 2 young quarterbacks that you guys are trying to develop and maybe a little bit of conflict, but who knows? They did add Sean Murphy-Bunting, which is a pretty good young corner. They do have a pretty decent defense. So I am going to put them at B tier for the fact of them getting D-Hop, having Derrick Henry, you obviously want to watch. Weirdly, maybe Will Levis. Titans will be a B tier team. Next team up will be the Miami Dolphins. And I say the Miami Dolphins are going to be a pretty good team. Tua, hopefully, no more concussions. Because having 3 in the same season is crazy, and then 2 back-to-back is even crazier. You've seen the videos, him throwing up gang signs. It's yeah, I don't think nobody wants to see that again. Dalvin Cook joins this team, going to be pretty good. I'm definitely going to want to see how Dalvin Cook and Tua and Tyreek are going to be able to play. You got the Waddle boy. Byron Jones, did he officially retire? I know he was saying stuff that he doesn't want to come back. Hopefully he can play because, yo, Byron Jones was a dog, especially for my Cowboys. This team is an S tier. You're going to want to see this team play. The next team I will be talking about is the New Orleans Saints. They ended up getting a big quarterback change, Derek Carr. Definitely want to see Chris Olave play. He had a really good rookie season. Definitely going to expect more. Marshawn Lattimore, dog. I feel like they really do have a chance to take over this division. Either that or a team that's coming up next. Honestly, I think it might be one of the weakest divisions that we have. Alvin Kamara, that dog. Jamal Williams ends up signing here. Had such a good season with the Lions. I don't know if he's going to be able to reproduce that. It was an anomaly. Michael Thomas, when is he going to return back? How does DeMar Hamlin return faster than you, Michael Thomas? Please. The guy died on the field. Cameron Jordan getting pretty old. Tyrann Mathieu ends up joining here. I love to see it. I'm putting him at A tier. Next team up, the Broncos. With the Broncos, you know, maybe Sierra was getting in Russell Wilson's head, and maybe that's why he's playing so bad, but was his first year. We'll give him that. Second season, hopefully he can do a lot better. I think everyone was expecting Danger Russ and let Russ cook, and indeed, Russ did not cook. That motherfucker fumbled. You're going to see Patrick Surtain also play really good corner. Javonte Williams was looking pretty good till he got injured. Hopefully he can stay the same. Definitely a guy you want to see here play. Ben DiNucci. I didn't know he was on this team. That might make them an S tier, but no. Honestly, I'm putting them at B tier. I feel like that's where they belong. Nothing too crazy, but you're definitely going to still want to peep in and see how Russ does. Next team up will be the Patriots. Honestly, if it wasn't for that guy, Christian Gonzalez, joining them, I wouldn't really put them that high. Don't get me wrong, Mac Jones had himself such a bad season to where Ben Zappi ended up taking snaps and did honestly pretty good. So who knows how that's going to look. Mac Jones, he needs to step it up. I am excited to see Christian Gonzalez end up playing for this Patriots defense. I want to see how Belichick ends up using him, but he is a rookie cornerback. So the one thing about that is he might get burnt a lot and might, you know, be some mistakes that come out. You still want to peep in and watch. He's definitely a really raw prospect. I'm going to put this team at a C tier. The next team up will be the Panthers, Bryce Young. And I think really just for that, they are going to go to B tier. Adam Thielen to this team makes him pretty good. Losing DJ Moore also was kind of crazy to have that, but you don't get Bryce Young if you don't trade DJ Moore, and quarterback valued more than wide receiver, but a quarterback's gonna need a wide receiver. For really that, I'm gonna keep them at B tier. You're definitely gonna want to see how the number one team plays. Actually, no, since he was the number one pick, I'm putting them at A tier. You're going to want to see how the number one pick is going to play. The Texans. This team is going to B tier for sure. Ended up taking Dalton Schultz from us, sadly, as a Cowboys fan. Going to miss him, but he's a tight end. But hey, man, if he you know, proves me wrong, I'll love you from afar. How about that? You know, at least another Texans team can be doing good. CJ Stroud, honestly, you guys might hate me for this. I think he might be the better quarterback prospect, really just for the fact that he's not 5'8". CJ Stroud, I'm definitely going to want to see how he does. Really, I'm just excited for this team. So they're going to go to B tier. Browns for me are going to a D tier. There's not really too much to watch. I feel like I've already watched Deshaun Watson so much. Well, no, because Myles Garrett is that guy. For me, they're going to C tier. The Packers. I feel like the Packers are honestly might be an S tier team to watch. Packers have a really good coaching staff, and you definitely going to want to see how Jordan Love is going to be able to play. Did the same thing that Patrick Mahomes did. Sat out a couple years behind a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, which is an MVP compared to Alex Smith. Alex Smith was good, but sitting behind a player like Aaron Rodgers, a two-time, maybe even three-time MVP, and being able to learn so much from just him especially, I feel like, you know what, Jordan Love might be that guy. Christian Watson, he really looks like to be a good wide receiver. And especially the game, of course, that he showed out in was against my Cowboys, and we got beat down by them. Jair Alexander hopefully can bounce back. Had a little bit of a disappointing year this year, but, you know, put that in the past and go do what you got to do now. A.J. Dillon, another great back for them. That 1-2 punch with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon is probably one of the best that we have now. It used to be, honestly, I would say, not trying to be biased, the Cowboys with having the down back with Zeke and then having be able to do it all in Tony Pollard was pretty good. Damn near they have the same thing in Green Bay. Can't really think of any other running back duos. Well, obviously, you know, this team, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but No more Kareem Hunt. This team, for me, surprisingly, is an S tier. You're going to want to see Jordan Love play just because I feel like he's going to have that breakout year. You know, hey, say what you want, but Jordan Love is having that breakout year for me. Another team up will be the Raiders. So my thing with the Raiders is if you're a woman, this team's an S tier. But if you're like an average male like me, not really too much to say. They didn't really do much. All they added was Jimmy Garoppolo. And realistically, Jimmy Garoppolo is just another font of Derek Carr to BH, except he has a worse arm. Just, you know, Devontae Adams, I feel bad for him. You left Green Bay, which was so nice to go chase the bag, which, you know, go get the bag. But, yeah, you're playing with Jimmy Garoppolo now. This team's going to B tier or C tier. Jaguars is an S tier. Listen, you might call me crazy, but that comeback win that they had against the Chargers, absurd. Trevor Lawrence really showed that he just needed the right coaching. I feel like that was his problem. But Trevor Lawrence just showed that he needed the right coaching. And I'm really getting a lot of like 2018, 2017 Jaguars vibes, especially from this defense. Bunch of good pass rushers, bunch of good guys that can just hawk the ball and play defense. Being able to see their top wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, come back, you're going to want to see that. Let's just hope that he doesn't bet on them to win the Super Bowl and he won't lose. Like, you know, you get the joke. But yeah, no, being able to have Trevor Lawrence develop and still be really good, I think he's taking another step this year and going to be in conversation with the top guys up there, with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. And then Christian Kirk had himself a pretty good year. And Evan Ingram also securing that bag. Who knows how that's going to turn out? But for me, this Jaguars team is an S tier. Don't be surprised if they make the Super Bowl this year. I'm calling it. Next team up, which got printed actually massive for some reason, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts, for me, well, fuck, there's no room to really fit it. I would say that they're a C tier team, and it's just off the fact is like, well, no, I'm going to put them B tier. You're going to want to see the prospect of Anthony Richardson play. But besides that, like, Jonathan Taylor is going to be pretty good to watch. Michael Pittman's going to be pretty good to watch. No more Stephon Gilmore. Who knows how that will play out. DeForest Buckner still being that dog, that guy there. Darius Leonard, been pretty good. That's all I can really think of that they really did. Yeah, I'm putting them at B tier. All right, the next team up will be the Steelers. Me personally, Steelers don't really have much to say. Kenny Pickett might take a pretty good step this year. Willing to see that. George Pickens, also another great guy you want to see. Who did they get? There's this nice, bro. It's 6 foot. I'm pretty sure he's a 6'10" tight end. Crazy, but I heard he's probably not going to play. Then they also drafted another guy too, if I'm not mistaken. Allen Robinson joins this team. Pat Pete. Keanu Neal also joins this team. Didn't even realize that. I'm going to go to C tier. Put him at C. Trying to realize I probably should have bought a bigger board. Okay, the next team up will be the Eagles. The Eagles are definitely a S tier. Jalen Hurts almost took them to that Vince Lombardi trophy. So close, but Patrick Mahomes is just going to do Patrick Mahomes things. Really just a bunch of dogs around this whole team. DeAndre Swift, if I'm not mistaken, is on this team. And let me just make sure before I say anything that I don't know. DeAndre Swift is on this team. Devontae Smith, that dog. AJ Brown, that dog. They ended up getting Nolan Smith as a linebacker. I don't really know too much about him, but I heard he is pretty good. Surprisingly, they kept a lot of their guys with adding Terrell Edmonds, which who knows how that's going to turn out. But this team is definitely an S tier to watch. You're going to want to be able to watch this team. Was just in the Super Bowl, this close to making it, and I think they might be able to do it again. The next team up will be the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, for me, they don't have much to really show. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. I know Aaron Donald was teasing at retirement, which, bro, he is such a good, bro. He's honestly, no bias. He's the best defensive player maybe of all time right now. I would say the only player that might have something above him is LT, Lawrence Taylor. But besides that, he's definitely in there for conversation of being one of the best defensive players ever. Jalen Ramsey, also there, really good. What else did they do? But really, I just really don't want to kind of watch Stafford play. Cam Akers has been so disappointing, and they ended up drafting a guy in Zach Evans to hopefully end up taking that spot that Cam Akers was supposed to be. They're going to C tier also. The Bears. The Bears will be the next team up. And I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple. The Bears are going to a B tier for me. Justin Fields had himself a breakout year. You're going to want to see him play again, and especially having a really good wide receiver in DJ Moore complement him, you're definitely going to want to see that. So, not much to say, B tier team. I love how both of the teams that I overprinted to be too big end up going in the same tier. Love that. Next team, we have 3 more teams left, guys. The Falcons. The Falcons, for me, are an A-tier team. Did a lot of great drafting. Desmond Ridder, supposed to start for the QB1, and hopefully bring this team to a nice spot. BJ Robinson joins this team also. Kyle Pitts hopefully can have a better season than he did last year, more like his rookie year. So this team for me, going to A-tier. The next team up, I can also make this short, sweet, and simple. The Bills. The Bills, S-tier. I felt like this year might be their chance to get this Super Bowl. They've been so close so many years, but that guy, Patty Mahomes, took it both times. But I think this is the year that they might prevail, might make that big push. So S-tier. And last but not least, the 49ers. Of course, they're printed big as hell. But this team for me is also going to S-tier. Ended up, either starting Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. You're going to want to see one of them play. Have the best defense, hands down. I'm not debating with anybody. Well, maybe that team up there, the Eagles, might be pretty close for the best defense. But have the best defense. Nick Bosa, Depoy of the year, looked amazing. Just all around, their defense is stacked. Offensively wise, having a guy like Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and Brandon Ayuk, dogs. So this team for me is going to S tier. That's the end of the video. I mean, if we look here, be sure to debate me. I do not care, because if you guys will be honest, I am a little bit of a casual fan, but I still know I have more knowledge than the average. I'm like in that medium range. But yeah, this is what I feel like I'm going to be watching a lot of games off of. Definitely won't be watching these 3 teams. Well, I'm forced to watch the Commanders twice a year. Twice a year. So there's that. But I feel like, let me look. Is there any teams I feel like that should either be higher or lower? These teams, all good. Stay here. C-tier teams. You could make a case and say that the Rams could be a B-tier team just for the fact of all their high-profile names that they have. But, I don't know. I don't really think they're going to be able to do it much again. I mean, Stafford looks like he's showing his age and that he might be done playing, realistically. Steelers, oh my God. Steelers are also at C-tier. Maybe they could go higher to B tier, but I think just because they're so big, I left them at C tier. Pause. But no, I really do think they might make a big jump. Who knows? Maybe the Texans could go down a little, but you're going to want to watch CJ Stroud play, and they have added some really good additions to the team. Falcons are at A tier, by the way. Falcons maybe could go down one, but they did a really good job drafting and signing players, and you're going to want to see Desmond Ridder play also, and BJ Robinson, and Kyle Pitts. And do I just need to keep going? Maybe. AJ Terrell. There you go. Bengals maybe could go up to S tier, but I feel like there's some, like, the players in S tier are either really good teams that are about to make or break, or players on new teams. So like if they did a bunch, for instance, the Jets, which I felt like the Jets were already pretty good with having that bum of Zach Wilson, and maybe getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers, maybe takes him to the Vince Lombardi. Bills there for a reason. Maybe the one team that you could really debate me for is having the Jaguars up there, but I feel like the Jags could do it. They take that big jump, and having Trevor Lawrence be that dog, they could definitely do it. But that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day.